do you believe that contemporary Christian music is sneaking in to independent Baptist churches?
No, of course.
And what are your
Of
thoughts on
course.
that?
Well, with independent Baptist, let me make a contrast between us and maybe the Southern Baptist. The Southern Baptist, and I'm not talking about every Southern Baptist out there. I'm talking about just in general, speak of the convention in general. Years ago, they were willing to give up their Bible and walk away from the Bible. There was a time where your Southern Baptist preachers, they preached out of the King James Bible. But they were willing through their seminaries to walk away from that. It's not scholarly and so on and so forth. So they gave up their Bible, and that's how that denomination has went apostate. Is going apostate. There's still some good theological champions in the convention, but it's not what it once was. There are no Adrian Rogers today. I said the other day to somebody, I was like, well, where is our Adrian Rogers today in the Southern Baptist Convention? They're not there.
No.
They're not there.
J.D. Greer is all you got now.
Yeah, oh my word. Anyway, but with independent Baptists, you're not touching our Bible. At least not at the front door. You're not touching our Bible. You're going to have to come in another way. And there's one thing we all know about independent Baptists. We have tremendous music. We love our music. Your primary traveling family that sings today, they're either Independent Baptist or Church of God, one of the two. In fact, you're probably most of your Southern gospel. They're either coming from the Independent Baptist churches or your Church of God churches.
Yep.
We love our music. The best musicians I know of, the best singers I know of are Independent Fundamental Baptists today. So we love our music. And that, I think, so the way to get to us is you're not going to touch our King James Bible. We'll slap you in the face at the front door. But you can sneak in with music. The way the seminary snuck in other translations in the Southern Baptists, we're seeing through a lot of our groups and our traveling singers, we're seeing some contemporary stuff being snuck in to our Independent Baptist churches. And eventually, we're going to give up our Bible too. That's just what's going to happen. It always ends up there, and so I think that's what's happening. I think it's just a subtle Garden of Eden attack, slow, subtle, slithering in. Here's a song, there's a song, and eventually you've got the poison.
Yeah, and the one song that I have told people, I said, don't sing this music in your church. Is the Bethel music, of course, but it's the Goodness of God by Bethel, which I think the song is, for the most part, okay. It's just that you're opening up the door for the worst thing in the world to come in. It's like the camel has his nose in the tent, and after a while, he'll take over the tent. But I'm telling you, it's wild. It is wild getting on Facebook and see people railing about me and over Bethel music, and I look and that's an Independent Baptist pastor who's mad at me over that, and but you're exactly right. He'll die on the King James Bible hill, but he'll let that in. Yikes!
But eventually, he himself may not. But the man who follows him and the man who follows him, eventually that local church, if they're not careful, they will walk away from that Bible. I mean, you're just heading in that direction. And with Independent Baptists, it almost always starts with the music.
Well, I mean, and forgive me, I'll just throw the name out there. It's and like Tyler Galton right now saying there's errors in the King James Bible, and so what you're saying is exactly right. The music, and then the manuscripts, and then the modesty and the methods, and the next thing you know, you got Todd White coming in, and you're doing healing seminars. Now, the next thing you know, you're Greg Locke. But even Greg Locke stuck to his King James Bible, so I don't know. It's so wild. It's so wild. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Okay.